What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Tay, and today I want to tell you a little prison story today. Today I want to tell you something that happened to me while I was locked up. My radio got stolen, I got punched in the mouth, and my roommate tried to hang with the cool kids. And that's pretty much why all of this happened. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into that prison story time right now. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Dante. I did 10 years in prison. Actually, I got sentenced to 10 years in prison. I did 8 years, 9 months. And now I'm home, I'm free, thank God. Prison sucked. And when I first went to prison, this happened in my first few months while I was locked up, actually. Because when you first get locked up, it feels like you have to always, I ain't gonna say always have to fight, but it feels like people do try you at certain times. So you can either choose to fight, defend yourself, or walk away. And if you walk away over and over and over, people can choose to continue messing with you until you decide to defend yourself. Because people just love trying you because they have nothing else to do. Like, people love playing around with other people while they're locked up. True story. But anyways, this story all takes place and it starts with my roommate. So one day, I was just talking to my roommate about people who owed me money in the dorm because I was a person who I had a little bit of canteen. So if somebody needed an item, they can come to me and I would let them borrow the canteen. If I trusted them, if I knew them, I would just give it to them and just say, hey, give me my item back. But if I didn't know them, or if they were new or something like that, I'll be like, yo, I need 1 for 2. That's the going rate on the market, so that's what I need. So in essence, that's what I was doing. One day, there was this dude, he came up to me and he wanted some canteen. Gave him some groceries. Let that be that. It is what it is. I think probably at this time, my roommate, now I'm not even gonna lie, I really can't remember a lot of people's names. So just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna call my roommate Joe, and then I'm gonna call this other guy Zero, because he did have a nickname like that. So Joe, that's my roommate. He wanted to be cool with Zero, his roommates, and all his people. So Zero is the guy who came and got some items from me. I let him borrow it. It is what it is. Boom. A few weeks goes by and some people in the dorm had owed me some money. And I believe I had told my roommate, yo, there's some people who owe me some money, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's pretty much time I need to go get my money because a lot of people ain't paid me. It's time for them to pay me. And I think Zero's name came up in the conversation. And I was like, yeah, Zero's one of them. Like, Zero, I let him borrow some stuff and he ain't pay me back either. Keep in mind, Zero and we aren't like best friends, but we cool. We all right, I guess. So hence, he's not one of the people I'm like really pressing like, yo, give me my groceries back, because I know he's going to give me my stuff back. But anyways, fast forward to a few weeks that went by and me and my roommate had this conversation. People owed me. It was time for them to pay up. I think I told my roommate, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, people owe me. Anyways, try to fast forward. Maybe I want to say like a day or two went by. And guys, I'm just like chilling. I forgot completely about this conversation I had with my roommate. I think I'm just like sitting on my bunk. And I'm on a level 3 yard at this time. So pretty much you're locked up majority of the day, and then some of the day they let you out. And while they let you out, they'll let your doors unlock. So they'll keep your doors popped. And normally they either come open your door and let you out, and then they'll lock your door back, or they'll just pop all the doors and then lock them all back. But on this yard, the guards were a little bit lenient, so they leave doors open. So anyways, I'm just sitting on my bed. I had my headphones on because I had a radio at this time. I had my radio in my hand and my headphones on, listening to my radio. Zero walks in with his homeboy. He had like a little Chinese homeboy, and then another, I want to say a black dude who was his homeboy. I said, I can't remember none of these dudes' names at the time. It is what it is. But so Zero, he came up to me, and at the time he had my groceries in his hand. What he owed me, he had in his hand. So I look up and he was like, yo, this is what I owed you or whatever. At the time, I'm not thinking nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of like threw the groceries at me, and he was like, so what's this about? You was going to do something to me if I didn't pay you or something like that? And at this time, I'm genuinely dumbfounded by what he's talking about, because I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, you saying I ain't going to pay you your shit? He was like, I ain't broke, this and this and this and that. And he started talking shit. And was like, yeah, I was going to pay you your shit or some shit like that. And then he was like, you ain't going to do shit. Or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what he was saying. But in essence, he was saying that I wasn't going to be talking shit, or I don't know. But all I do know this, I'm sitting on the bed as he's talking shit and I got my headphones on and I'm taking them off and he's saying his little words now. And as he's saying the shit that he's saying, I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? And then he continues on to talk about what he's saying. And then he proceeds to hit me in my mouth. Bam. As I'm sitting down. Like literally, I'm sitting down. He is standing over me and just swings. Bam. Hits me. Boom. So I'm like, oh, this motherfucker. So obviously, instincts when you get hit, for some people is just to stop and be shocked. Some people is immediately you just start fighting back. Like that's just, and that's what I remember. Immediately he hit me, boom. Ain't gonna lie, it stung me because I wasn't expecting it, and it was a cheap shot. I will say that till the day I die. But I should have been expecting it. It's prison. But he hit me, boom. So once he hit me, I get up immediately and start like trying to fight back a little bit. And somehow it ends up to where like they like break it up a little bit and they leave my room. So the rooms are so small that literally I can probably touch wall to wall, maybe just a little bit more. So when he hit me, boom, I dropped, you know what I'm saying? Why your boy dropped? You know, I ain't dropped to the floor, but I dropped and leaned because, you know what I'm saying? I got hit. So as I'm getting up to hit and fight back, like literally we're fighting to where like we're about to walk out the room. So his homeboys try to like, they didn't break it up. They kind of like just pushed me back a little bit. And it looked like they were about to jump me a little bit. So I kind of stepped back. He goes out the room. Zero goes out the room. Yeah, he goes out the room. And then his other homeboys follow him. So I'm mad. I'm pissed off. Keep in mind, I had my radio and my headphones on when he hit me. So obviously, when I got up, start fighting, all that dropped in the melee. Don't know where none of that is. My room's open at the time. Pissed off. So immediately, I don't know if I had my shoes on at the time or not, but if I didn't have my shoes on, I think I put my shoes on or tightened my shoes up more or whatever. Boots. I might have put boots on at this point in time. Don't even know. But I know Zero's room because Zero's roommate is cool with my roommate at the time. And my roommate wasn't there. My roommate was at work. He worked in the kitchen. But anyways, so I knew the room. I went straight to the room. And this is something you should never do in prison. Keep that in mind. Never go to somebody else's room to fight. You should always meet them in a neutral location or bring them to your room. But when you're mad, you don't think about stuff like that. I was pissed. He just hit me in my face. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of mad. Well, I don't think I was bleeding maybe at the time. I don't think I was bleeding. But yeah, maybe I don't know. I was mad. You know what I'm saying? He hit me in my face. So run out the room. Go straight to his room. Boom. I bust in their room. When I go in their room, I'm like, nah, what the fuck's up? And this is when they threatened me. Boom. I think, like I said, it was Zero, the Chinese dude, and the black dude. So when I go in their room, the Chinese dude's like on the right. Zero's like kind of like by his bed, but not sitting down like I was. He was standing up. And then the other dude was like over there. And I think my roommate was in the room with them. My roommate, not the Joe. When I say my roommate was working in the kitchen, that was like my homeboy. My homeboy at the time, he was working in the kitchen. But anyways, this other roommate, the new guy, Joe, he's the one who was hanging out with Zero trying to be cool. Because he was trying to be cool. Let's just be honest. He was trying to fit in with the crowd, and snitching on his roommate, he thought would get him some cool points. But little did he know, he wasn't snitching. He was lying, really, because I didn't say I was going to beat Zero up. I was just saying I want him shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, fast forward to when I bust in the room, whatever. Like I said, you see the Chinese dude on the right, the black dude's right there on the left, and Zero's is like hanging on his bed like he did something, which he really didn't do nothing. So I go in the room, I'm like, nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't over with. Like, you just stole on me. And I always repeat myself. Usually when I get mad about certain points, I usually repeat the point that I'm mad about. And that was the point I was really mad about. Didn't care about nothing else, but he stole on me. Like, you stole off on me. You know what I'm saying? You should have gave me a fair one. You know what I'm saying? If you beat me in a fair one, it is what it is. But you ain't going to steal off on me and just think, oh, I got the better on you. And you really didn't get the better off on me because when I got up and, started fighting, you ran out the room. Anyways, we ain't going to talk about all that. We talking about the moment right now. But we in the room and I'm like, yeah, what the fuck's going on? Da-da-da-da-da. And like you talking that shit. Da-da-da. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? Nobody talking shit about you, saying nothing like that. And then my roommate's standing right there looking stupid, looking dumb. And immediately, like, my mind ain't clicked, like my roommate's in the room. And they're like, boom, that's what he said. And they're talking about my roommate at the time. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? And it was like, yeah, man, he said that you said that you was going to beat him up because he didn't pay you your groceries. Like, I'm a broke nigga and this and this and this and that and this and that. So I'm like, first of all, I didn't even say it like that. You know what I'm saying? You know how people take your words sometimes and exaggerate them? That's what my roommate at the time did. He literally exaggerated the words. Like with Zero, I wasn't threatening him when I said I want my money back. But you know how you are. Like, I let people borrow my money. Like, people need to know that they owe you. Some people walk around like they don't owe you sometimes. I was being vocal about that. Wasn't saying I was going to beat Zero up. But with that being said, we're in there talking. Now we're in the point where like we're talking and it's coming out that my roommate told them this, who my roommate's right there. And then my roommate's like, yeah, well, you said the other day that, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, you want your money back from people who owed you and stuff like that. And I was like, so I specifically said I was going to beat up Zero. I was like, so pretty much you started this, in essence. You started this. And I was still so mad that I really kind of didn't care at the moment. I still wanted to fight Zero because he stole off on me. So I was like, man, at the end of the day, I'm lying. Before all this happened, yeah, no, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm still on track. So I'm like, yeah, I didn't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? After we still arguing or something, I'm like, at the end of the day, we still got to fight because you stole off on me. You know what I'm saying? And as I said that, remember when I said how the black dude was over there in the left-hand corner? You should never go in anybody's room for this fact alone. So when I was talking shit again, because I wanted to fight, you know what I'm saying? And I guess he can tell that I was getting ready to fight. Dude ran up behind me and grabbed me and choked me out. I'm not even gonna say choke me out because I didn't go out, but he choked me, like literally choked me. He was a bigger dude, I ain't gonna lie. So, and I was in a position where I really couldn't do anything, especially in that position that he had me. Choking me, there was really nothing I can do. I could have squirmed and wiggled a little bit and he would have choked me out. But he was like, man, I better calm down. I better calm down. He had me. I ain't gonna lie. He had me. He had me looking like a little punk at the moment. I can't even lie. He had me choked up. There was nothing I could do. But it is what it is. So, so when he had me choked up, they was like, man, you need to calm down. And then the little Chinese dude had his knife out and was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We'll stab you up in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, this dude, I will just don't put this fake Jackie Chan looking mother. Oh, that's what I was thinking in my mind. But again, I'm in a position where I'm being choked out. Dude got a knife on me and there's really nothing I can do. And I'm not going to win that situation. Like, obviously, what am I supposed to do? So I calmed down in the moment. I'm not going to lie. I calmed down. I was like, you good? You good? You know what I'm saying? You good? You good? You good? Yeah, I'm good. First of all, y'all ain't about to jump me in this room. I already know what time it is. So they let me go at that time, right? And I leave the room. I'm mad. I go back to my room, mad, embarrassed because I just got choked. You know what I'm saying? There was really nothing I can do. And I couldn't really go back in the room and try to fight because I would have been put back in the same position, if not worse. So I went back to my room and I was mad. And then this is when I was looking for my radio. Because again, remember I told you I was sitting down with my radio. That's when I realized my radio was gone. I'm like, oh, somebody just stole my damn radio. So now I'm like, who got my radio? I'm looking on the rock for my radio. Go back to their room. Like, yeah, which one of y'all got my radio? I know one of y'all got my radio. Ain't none of them got my radio. And so somebody on the rock probably got my radio in the melee when we were fighting. They probably saw when my room was open. They probably saw the radio on the floor, ran in there and grabbed it. Ain't no telling. But yeah, that's how my radio got missing and all that. But I'm sitting down in my room, pissed off, ain't got no radio. I'm mad. And probably not even 20 minutes later, probably not even 20, 15 minutes later, my roommate from the kitchen, who was working at the kitchen at the time, he came back to the dorm and I'm in the room and he comes in. He already knows that something had happened in the dorm, but he didn't know who was going on with what because, you know, word travels fast in prison. Doesn't matter. You can pee and by the time your pee hit the toilet, it's in the next dorm. Everybody else in the next dorm knowing that you peeing in said toilet. Like, news travels fast. So he's like, man, what's going on, man? I was fighting the dorm. Who got into the fight? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man. He's like, what? I told him, I gave him the whole rundown of what had just happened in the day. And my roommate, he is, let's just say, a guy who is also, we'll say a hothead, who thinks he can beat up everybody and their mama, and he just don't care. He don't care about life. At the end, just that's the best way to put it. Because you have those human beings who just don't care about life, and they will fight 1 on 19. I myself, I will fight like 1-on-3 or 1-on-2 in certain situations, but I'm not really about to fight multiple people at one time because you probably in a losing situation. But him, he don't care. So that's the kind of personality that he is. So after I told him the story, like I said, he's been my roommate for a while. The dude who just moved in, Joe, he had been there maybe not even a month at this point in time. Yeah, probably like a few weeks, maybe like a week and a half or something like that. But anyways, and starting all this trouble, and he just came down. I told you can be one of those people who mind your business or be one of those people who start trouble. But anyways, we're about to get to that in the situation. So after I told my roommate the whole rundown of the day that he had missed while he was at work and how our other roommate and his antics had caused me to get hit in my mouth and my radio stolen and gone, we was like, okay, well, we're about to go down to that room and we gonna fight. We gonna fight again. He was like, you wanna fight? And I was like, yeah. Because remember, I told you I was still mad because I got stolen in my mouth. So he's like, you wanna fight? I was like, yeah, most definitely. So we went back down there. My roommate was still in there. See, yes. Anyways, my roommate was still in there. So we go in there. And at this time, the black dude, I think the Chinese dude might have still been in there, but the black dude may not have been in there or whatever. But me and my roommate had went in there. My roommate, he's the person who had knives and stuff like that. He kept the shank. The entire time I was in prison, I never had a shank. Surprisingly, which is kind of crazy. Never had one, never held one, never messed with one, just because I really kind of felt like I didn't need one, even though I probably should have, because in that situation I just told you the story that I could have used one, but never had one. So my roommate, we go down there, he has a shank or whatever, and we go in the room, and pretty much we're talking to Zero like, yo, I want my get back. There's no way that it should have went down like that. And at this point in time, like, everybody's kind of shifting the blame on the new guy, Joe, my other roommate. And they're like, yeah, well, he's the one who came there and told the story. And I was like, well, at the end of the day, I got to fight somebody. Either it's going to be you, Joe, or it's going to be Zero. And everybody voted that I fight my roommate. Now, at the time, my roommate, he's a much bigger guy than Zero was. Zero, he was... For me, I'm gonna say everybody's almost bigger than me because I'm a pretty skinny guy, you know what I'm saying? I only weigh probably 160 on a good day. So everybody, Zero probably weighed like 180-ish, maybe 180, 190, if that. But my roommate, Joe, he probably weighed at least 260, and I'm being generous, and it wasn't all good pounds, if you know what I mean. Zero had a little bit of muscle on him. My big white roommate guy, no, he didn't. He was just like one of those big guys. I want to say, like, I'm trying to think. I get in the mindset of Tank, but a little bit bigger, like a heftier version of the MMA fighter Tank. But he was probably way bigger a little bit. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. So we decided that I needed to go ahead and fight my roommate Joe because he's the one who started all this, and I kind of agreed to it at the end of the day. I was like, I want to, because I really wanted to fight somebody. I'm not gonna lie. I was still mad about getting hit in my mouth. So I was like, yeah, I agree about this. So we decided to go fight, and my roommate agreed because he saw me and thought he was about to get an easy win. And my roommate, he had me by at least 80 pounds, at least 80 pounds, at least, if not 110, 115. But anyways, which I'm not scared, to be honest. I wasn't scared at all. But we go upstairs because in our dorm we had like the downstairs and then like an upstairs part, which they always had like the day rooms upstairs locked for some reason, but they had like an upstairs part that was all glass that you can go up there and kind of have like a little fighting area that no cameras, and you can kind of like get away with it. If you don't fight there, you can fight in your rooms. But everybody's like, yeah, we want to see this. And at this point in time, I'm not gonna lie, I knew that the entire Rock would be watching as I was making my way up the stairs. So mentally I was like, yeah, I can't lose this fight. Like there's no way in hell I can lose this fight. Like if I lose this fight, everybody in the dorm would try to fight me and stuff moving forward. Even like the new people who would come in, as I'm walking by, somebody would tell the new people stories about how I got my butt kicked in front of everybody in the dorm. So this is my mindset as I'm walking up the stairs to fight this guy. I'm thinking about all this in like a 30, 45 second period. This is some heavy stuff. This stuff is on your mind. So you gotta just like think about, oh my God, the results. So as I'm walking up the stairs and everybody's like, you ready, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, you know what I'm saying? And he started talking stuff a little bit, and then I started talking stuff a little bit, and then it was like, fight. It was like one of them like Mortal Kombat games. Ready, fight. It was so funny, man, how like, it's crazy how the dorm, they police inmates and like the structure of how they have fights go down, like it could really be a professional setting. So if Dana White or any other professionals need people who can manage their fights, you need to call some inmates back there, man, because they can really organize some beautiful events. I'm telling you. And they can even have them catered with some wonderful snacks from the prison penitentiary. But anyways, so like I said, they were like, ready, fight. So in my mind, I'm not a cocky individual, but at the same time, I have been in so many fights now that I know how most fights go. And that's just, you know, you kind of get into a place where you know you're going to win a fight, lose a fight, how you have to fight, or in just certain occasions. But anyway, so I get into this fight, and this time I'm thinking I'm going to not lose, but I'm thinking it's going to be a fight where I have to be on the defensive more often than not, because he's a bigger guy than me. I have to kind of see how he's going to move, how he's going to attack, and kind of like use his body weight against him. So he comes in swinging all reckless and stuff like that, and immediately that's letting me know how fast he is, the range that he has. Like this, I'm learning all this off this fight, and which is crazy because in the moment I'm like, okay, I have to show out. Like I have to show out, because again, the whole yard is watching. My dorm, not the yard, but the whole dorm is watching, but the yard will find out about this fight. So let me go ahead and put on the show. So as I'm watching him, and he swings like a few times, and he just like misses me. And your boy, I'm not the best fighter in the world, but I know how to hold my own in certain situations. Okay? So your boy gave him a 16-piece to his face, lightning fast. 16-piece. And a side of bacon. He didn't want no fries, but I gave him a shake anyway. I'm telling you. Okay, it wasn't 16. It was at least a nice 10-piece. I gave him a nice good 10 hits in his face before he knew what time it was. And that's when he realized he had trouble on his hands. So a lot of big guys, they do this in fights. And I learned this in prison, to be honest. When they feel like they can't beat you up, like physically with their hands, they want to grab you because they feel like they are so much stronger than you, and they can manhandle you and move you in ways that you probably can be because you're a lighter. And don't get me wrong, man, if I'm fighting somebody who's 300 pounds and they are like skilled, or they don't even have to be skilled, somebody who's 300 pounds and have power, I mean, obviously if they grab me, it's going to be hard for me to defend myself. But this guy, like I said, he only weighed like 80 more pounds than I was. He obviously wasn't in the best shape in his life. He could have cut out on a few Twinkies or Twix bars or whatever he was eating on the side. So it wasn't like he was really strong for his weight class. So with that being said, when he tried to like move me and power me any kind of way, you know, when you go to prison, you work out, right? I mean, everybody works out when they're in prison. So your boy was working out. I also have a military background where I worked out, and I worked out sporadically on the streets. So I'm never really in bad shape per se. Maybe stamina wise, maybe. Maybe 2 rounds I would have died, but luckily it didn't last that long. Or actually, we're gonna get to that here in a second. But he tried to grab me, and luckily I just overpowered him. Luckily, like he was just, like I said, he just really wasn't that strong to be his size, and I was stronger than a lot of people think I am for my size, if that makes sense. So I just kind of like powered him, and I remember I wanted to put his freaking head through the glass that was the barbershop that was upstairs. Like I remember literally trying to put his head through that glass as we were fighting, and just like bouncing him off, and then like just backing him up and like bam, bam, 2-piecing him again. And you won't believe this, like when we were grabbing too much or whatever, everybody broke us up and we're like, oh, no, okay, go again. It's like, oh, first of all, this is a whole fight. Don't y'all ever put your hands on me and stop me when I'm beating somebody's butt. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, we go back for a quick round 2 or whatever, and at this time he does get a few hits off on me. I'm not gonna lie, like he hits me like 2 or 3 times. He get like one good shot off on me that really pissed me off, but then I kind of like turned into super zombie mode and don't remember anything else. But I do remember like there was one portion of the fight where he had dropped to his knees, and that's because I think I hit him like a good jab or something. It was definitely a good jab. It wasn't a power punch, but I hit him with like a good a good jab, and he like dropped to his knees, and there was a punch where I knew like if I hit him with and I connected, like he would have thought about the day that he was born and went back in his womb, because he knew the day that I was about to hit him would come. He would have just rethought about his whole entire birth. So I swung with all my might, and if I would have connected, this boy would have been out. Obviously, I just spoiled it for you, but I missed. It was probably the funniest miss in a fight that I've ever had, because I literally just like, oh, I'm about to kill you. And I swung, but my body was like, but you're so tired that you have no energy to put all your might in this. This is how long, I mean, the fight did last a hot little minute, but it was me just show classing like I'm a fucking genius with these hands. No, I'm just kidding. But your boy ended up swinging and missing. I swung with all my might too. I'm not gonna lie, I swung with all my might and missed him while he was on the ground. And when I missed him, I want to say I even did one of those numbers where it was like a cartoon where I just like spun all the way around or something like that. Not all the way around, but you know, I swung and I missed, and I was just tired. But went back and tried to hit him a few more times, and people came in. They kind of stopped the fight because they knew it was over with. Yeah, but that was the time my radio got stolen. Yeah, and I was mad, and I took it out on my roommate. And then even after that, I was like, I really want to fight Zero, but I kind of let it go, because I think I put on a good performance, and I had like a lot of respect after that fight. I really did. Like, that fight really helped my life in prison so much easier, because from that point on, in that dorm at least, they knew I would fight and that I could fight. And I think that was the most important thing. Like, I could fight. Little did they know that I couldn't fight. The dude I fought just couldn't fight. And that's all that was. I didn't know how to fight. I was just out there living on a prayer. Living on a prayer. And your boy did good, and he won the fight and gained respect of all the inmates. And that was my little story about how, yeah, my radio got stolen. I got hit in the mouth. My roommate tried to snitch on me, and I redeemed myself. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. I felt like telling that story just because I thought it was a pretty cool, decent prison story. Just that's some of the things that you have to deal with when you're in prison. It was real life. People snitching, people taking things too far, and people just wanting to fit in. And that's what all that was. And it was funny also waking up in the room with somebody that you beat up. Oh, it's not the first time that's happened to me, but waking up in the room with somebody that you've beaten up, that is so funny, because you see like the worst of it in the morning. And there's really nothing they can do about it because they know they'll get beat up again. Anyways, don't fight. Fighting's petty. It didn't prove anything at the end of the day. I guess it just goes to show, stop snitching, I guess. Snitching? Is that what Joe did? Y'all think Joe snitched? Is that what he did to Zero? Or he was just trying to talk to Zero, try to fit in? I think that's what it really was. He thought he was fitting in with Zero and then wanted to hang out with the cool kids and wanted to smoke their cigarettes and be cool and stuff like that. But didn't happen. And yeah, so yeah, stolen radio. Oh, and I think, I forgot to tell you this. I think even Zero and them took the snacks back. I think I forgot to tell that part of the story. I think they even took the snacks back that they repaid me. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe I ate their chips after I beat up Joe. I'm not sure. Anyways, that's definitely it. Make sure that you bless somebody today, because I promise you I'm going to bless somebody tomorrow. At this point in time, your boy Tay, I'm out.